We back, y'all. We back, y'all. We back. What's good? It's your boy G of Alec here. And check the Thank y'all for tuning in. Brought to you by Breadwinners Inc. I'm sure the mothers you guys do. Make sure you like, review, subscribe, comment to the show, and all of that. We get started here. Today we're talking about some fun things here. There's a lot of stuff going on in college football with schools combining to join these super conferences. USC's gone to the Big Ten. UCLA's gone to the Big Ten. Washington, Arizona, the Pac-12 is falling apart and we dispersed all across the rest of the Power Five conferences, making what now appears to be somewhat of super conferences, people are calling it. And as funny as those are, I want to translate that to the NFL in its own way by imagining what NFL super conferences would look like as well, and making our own tier list in the way of how these things will play out. So a fun thing that we're going to get into. Excited to have you guys here. Glad to have fun with this, and looking forward to how it all comes together. So that's the intro for you guys. Now as we actually jump into it, let me pull this up. I made the tier list. If you guys want to go on Tier Maker, you make your own list of how you think teams should play out. We got 4 tiers here. The A group was going to be the top teams, the teams that are the best teams right now currently. We can already kind of imagine like the Chiefs and other teams like that will be up there. The B group will be teams that are kind of borderline top tier, maybe floating around. Maybe I'll make toss in, for example, like the Dolphins might sneak into, and it might not be top 8, but might be B group. We also want to add into the whole kind of college football field, talking about legacy and all of that. If they have some kind of nostalgia factor to them, the Raiders are a squad, for example, who might not be close to top tier yet, but in regards to how the conferences are put together, which fit into a group like that, and we'll go on from there. So we'll put together properly as things start off. But yeah, Alex, starting up top for our A group. I already mentioned one team, with the Chiefs. Who else should go in that A group for our super conferences?
Real quick question. What is
Sure.
that orange little mascot in between the Buccaneers and the Broncos? That
What you mean? That's the Browns. That's the
Is that
Browns.
supposed to be the
Bro.
Browns?
That's the Browns,
I
yeah.
have never seen that as the mascot of the
That's the
Cleveland
new logo. I
Browns.
could have swore. Maybe
Is
I
it?
got duped. Yeah, or one of them at
I
least.
don't know. I
They've
have
been
not
using that
seen
for a little
that.
while as a secondary logo, but yeah, that's them.
All right. Yeah, definitely the Chiefs in A, of course. I'd say you have to have the Bengals there too. But
You
they
have to have the Bengals there. They're hot right now, but in regards to long term, you
well,
think they're a good team?
you have to define your criteria like
Okay,
more specifically for me because they've been dominant for like 3 years now. So
they've been down here for 3 years. I guess yeah, we'll put them there. The A group will be the teams that are hot right now that we want to see all the matches between that kind of stuff. So yeah, the Bengals would fit into that. The Eagles would fit into that. Yes,
yeah,
they're a team that's been special with Jalen Hurts there and what they put together, especially last year. So definitely fun to watch them. Who else would you say fits in the top tier? You say the Niners
the
fit up there.
Niners. I would say
Came to
the
mind.
Niners historically
Mhm.
as well.
Historically as well, our nice group to have. The Bills will go up there. Yeah,
Yeah,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 more teams to go up top. The Ravens, would you put them up there? I say yes, but I'll
I
let you decide on that. They're kind of borderline,
I
I would
think
say.
so.
No,
I think so. Looking at like, especially if we're leaning heavier into what the current teams have been and
sure.
are going to be for next year, I would have the Ravens in there.
Appreciate that.
I would only 2 more spots left. The
You're right.
teams I'm considering are Cowboys, Dolphins, Patriots is tough because they're not there right now, but they're the only team that's like really had like a dynasty other than the
Sure.
Chiefs.
Yeah,
Uh,
but put into
so,
that group,
so
they
they
be
probably
like
be
they
B.
lose every week pretty much. Yeah,
Yeah,
that would be nice
exactly.
for them.
The Rams had the Super Bowl a couple years ago and now are over under 6.5 wins.
Uh-huh.
So probably it's hard putting the Cowboys in there too with their playoff failures consistently.
I'm looking like you said, Cowboys, Dolphins. You can do
Buccaneers
the
won a
Cowboys.
Super Bowl a couple years ago too, and
Yeah, but they wouldn't
now
be fun in there.
they're really bad this year. So
Now that's a 1 year thing. Looking long term, they could bounce back fairly quickly. But yeah, just at least somewhat trying to think for right now. That'd be a nasty group team to have in there.
I know.
The Vikings could be in there, though they are very much up and down. They haven't had a lot of
Yeah,
playoff success, but they have a solid squad consistently. So that could be a good one.
The Jets are budding. I feel like they're on the cusp.
Mm-hmm.
For this year, I'd probably have them in the group, but it's
I'll
hard
say
to do
a
that.
quick thing before we even get to that. In regards to top tier teams, I would say these are the six that are really the cream of the crop of the league.
Right.
I think that these are teams that we're going to be seeing fighting for the Super Bowl and all that going forward this year.
Yeah.
And yeah, they'll be the teams that should be heavily favored amongst others who could surprise us, of course. But this group right here, first off, definitely will have our attention. So yeah, good six here. But in regards to our tier list, and putting this conference together in full to round it out, let's go ahead and put the
right. It
man.
doesn't feel right. They are like probably around like the 7th or 8th best team though. Like they made it second round last year.
Yeah, I guess we'll
Probably
put them
the
in there for
Cowboys.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, if something changes as we go along, we'll do that. In my head, as I've said, wherever Dak is, Kirk Cousins is, wherever the Cowboys are,
Yeah.
the Vikings are.
Sure.
So I put the Vikings there, but would you put the Dolphins ahead of them? With how Dolphins
I think
look
I'd put the Dolphins ahead of them because their defense isn't a complete mess like the Vikings is.
Yeah, that's the difference. So the Cowboys have a solid defense. The Vikings don't. The offenses are damn near the same in my head, as I've said.
All these teams have good defenses, actually.
Yeah, the defenses here are special. So for now, that rounds out the top 8 for our 8 tier for our first conference. I think that's a good group. I think there's dog fights every matchup in that group, and we'll love to see how that played out week to week. Now as we go on, the next group of teams will be similar fashion. The as it is the B tier here. We can add in some historical context if you want to make sure things are just to add that nuance to it as well.
Sure.
But definitely some good things to look at here. For example, to the historical context, like the Packers aren't perfect right now. They just lost Aaron Rodgers and things, but they've been a team that's been consistently good for a while now because of their quarterback playing things. Maybe have a slightly down years as they're rebuilding, but they're a team right there that has history that could be a B tier group. It's another team that could be in contention just because of the quality. The Chargers, as you mentioned, are teams that are good right now. I put the Chargers right in that B group in my mind right now, and we can go on from there. Would you agree with those two at least?
Chargers more so. Chargers, yeah.
Sure.
Who was I just talking about too?
Patriots.
So that's tough. So there's several historical teams here that historically have been really good, like the Patriots, the Steelers, the Packers. But it's just like right now they're not really that good
right now either. Yeah.
Yeah. So like I feel like a good amount of those historical teams would probably be in the C tier, probably.
So then we'll make the group the C tier then.
Okay.
And that's how we'll differentiate it.
All right.
So for
so
the
then
B
go
tier
Packers
group, you said Packers for the B or C?
For the C. I was just like gonna.
We'll come back to that. We'll come back to the historical. We'll go over here, going with the B tier, the next group of good teams. The Chargers will go into that. The Vikings we just said are borderline A tier, so we'll put them there. The Seahawks, maybe we put the Seahawks there.
Probably in the back end of it. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll come back to that. I guess in similar fashion, we put the Jets in there.
I would put the Jets there. They just got a major upgrade at QB, and they already had the pieces too.
The Jaguars have gotten hot now. We put the Jaguars in that group.
Jaguars. B tier. Come back to that. To that.
Would you put the Giants in that group?
Yeah. Would you?
I
said, I think the back end of it, like with the Seahawks.
As we joked about last year a lot, talking about teams and matchups, there's a lot of mid in this group now. We got all the good teams out the way.
Right.
Now it's just a bunch of teams that are just kind of floating here. So
yeah,
a few of these teams, I guess, would be slightly upper echelon amongst the rest of what we have.
It might be easier to go start at D with the worst and work our way back to the middle.
Up.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll leave those three for now, I guess. So we're working our way up then.
Browns.
The Browns you put in the D tier already.
I would put
the Browns have been a solid squad. They turned things around the last couple of years.
They
got Deshaun there, and the defense put together. They're a D tier squad to you though.
I mean, going into this season, they're probably more so like C, and they have upside of B, I think.
Okay.
But I was more so thinking about like the historically, like how awful they've been.
Got it.
That's what I'm saying.
In
like
my head, truthfully,
it makes it difficult. That's why I was like, define your criteria, because historically, some of these teams aren't the same as what they are now. So.
Well, there's a few legacy acts in here now, enough that there could be a couple of tiers of that. So again, just trying to put things based on adding more of the current context of who they are. I put the Browns a little bit higher than D tier for what they've done in the last at least year or two to turn things around slightly. So I can't put them D tier in my head, to be honest with you.
All right. So do you want to more heavily weighted towards what they'll be this coming year? What
Correct.
they've been in the last 3 years?
We'll weigh more into where they are right now. And then on the back end, if there's a little bit of a split decision, we'll add some more of the historical context to it.
Then I'll put the Cardinals at D. Shouldn't be much argument there, I don't think.
No, I just put it there.
The Colts probably are a D too.
Yeah, should be higher, but they can't quite figure it out.
After Andrew Luck, it's kind of
Texans, right?
Yeah, Texans. Even with Deshaun, I was gonna say post Deshaun, but
would the Saints be D tier? They've been solid, but
they've still been solid. Yeah. Falcons might be though. Like they're better last year, but
no, that's a good point. They are.
After that Super Bowl, it's been rough.
This year, they might win the D tier. They might win out that group, but as of
Bears,
what they've been lately,
Bears have been rough for many years.
That'd be a fun.
And they're looking up a little bit this season
for sure. They're a historical team that could be a C tier squad as we look at it and readjust. But for now, I'm fine with that. We got 3 more down here.
I would have had the Giants here, but they're on a higher trajectory.
Yeah, they finally figured something out.
The Washington football team, Commanders.
Correct. 2 more. The Panthers will be down here now, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like after Cam, it's been pretty rough.
It's been nasty, yeah. And then 1 more here would be
it's probably the Raiders, dog. I know you like to give them some flowers.
I was alluding to them just in regards to historical context and all of that. Right now, with Jimmy G at the helm instead of Derek Carr, who knows how it's going to play out. They did look a little bit better last year, though, with Josh Jacobs in the running game. But I think Josh Jacobs was even holding out, I believe, from last I remembered. So
he was the one bright spot.
Yeah, he's the one real bright spot. They have a couple good guys on defense, Max Crosby, and a couple others there. But yeah, got some work to do for sure. So
I would say like the Buccaneers as well, but they did have like Brady, had Brady years that were
Brady saved them. They're D tier in my head actually, but they definitely are D tier right now.
They definitely are D tier right now. Raiders are definitely D tier right now too, though. They'll be one of the worst teams in the league to me.
I think they'll be better than the Bucs though.
Yeah, no? I think the Bucs and Cardinals are probably the worst too right now.
So yeah, I'll put Bucs down here. And then we'll put
the Raiders in the legacy team.
The legacy acts that just dodged the D tier there. So that's that. I think we would also then put
Packers, Pats.
The Pats in there. Put the Steelers in there. You put I guess to our point, the Browns would maybe go in there. They're not really a legacy act, actually. Hold on, I'll pause on that one.
Is that Packers?
Oh, Packers.
Yeah.
Sure. Where do the Rams go in this? They're not really a legacy act at this point.
Legacy, no.
Actually, kind of. I mean, they had the Rams a while ago, St. Louis and all that. They've been around for a while. That would be a legacy act, and they aren't beats here either. So I'm actually fine with that there.
Yeah, that's fine.
3 more. The Saints would be C tier. They're not B tier in my head for sure.
So Saints and Falcons I think are going to be battling for first in that division. Like probably worst division in football.
In real life division, yes.
Yeah.
in this one, I think Saints are. I guess the board they just made the cut for the C tier there. And necessarily the legacy added. Legacy's been bad pretty much outside of the Drew Brees when they turned it around with him. But prior to that, they were struggling. But we'll go ahead and give them the nod in that regard because of they look semi decent in recent years.
Broncos.
And then 2 more for that. Broncos will go.
I think C. They got some legacy too.
Yeah, they should be a B tier team, but they haven't quite got there yet.
Last year was bottom of the barrel.
Yeah,
this year they should be better. Sure. They should be better. But.
Should be better at having achieved that. So I'm cool. I'm cool with them being C tier. Do have, to your point, have legacy going back to the John Elway days and all of that. So that fits the criteria. And the last one we have to be the Titans, correct? Or the Browns.
Jags, Browns.
For the C tier, I think the Jags are better than that.
Giants. I mean, these teams are all fairly close.
Mm-hmm.
You said Browns? You said Browns?
I said Titans or Browns, yeah.
I'm trying to think of that AFC South is Colts, Texans, Titans, and who's the fourth team in that?
AFC South?
Yeah. Colts, Texans, Titans.
Is that the Jags?
Jags, yeah. So I guess you can have the Jags in B and the Titans in C. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the C tier. So then, that makes the B tier as we had. So we got both New York squads in the B tier. We got the Jags in there. The Lions have improved greatly in the last couple of years. They are a team that, had they not had their bounce back in the last couple of years, they'd be a for sure D tier squad because they've always been bad, but recently they're turning things around. The Seahawks have been good for quite some time now. Had a down year,
surprising year last year,
but bounced back and now are upper echelon. And the Browns are a squad that are just above C tier as they've turned things around in recent years. Though legacy-wise, they for sure have been a team that's been bottom of the barrel. But definitely some fun stuff here. I think matchup-wise, as you look at it, thinking about conferences, like they always talk about games like in college football, there's the Alabama versus LSU and things like that, the head-to-head matchups. I think there's good matchups in all these tiers across the board, and I like how that puts together. So A tier for us, we got the Chiefs, Bengals, Eagles, Niners, Bills, Ravens, Cowboys somehow, and the Dolphins. For the B tier, we got the Chargers, Vikings, Jets, Giants, Jags, Lions, Seahawks, and Browns. For the C tier, we got the legacy acts in a way. We got the Raiders, the Patriots, the Steelers, the Packers, Rams, Saints, Broncos, and Titans. And then for the D tier, the teams that have been bottom of the barrel for a while now and still get to quite turn it around are the Cardinals, the Colts, the Texans, the Falcons, the Bears, the Commanders, the Panthers, and the Bucks. Now that Brady's no longer in the building, so I like how all this puts together. Very, very much a fun thing, especially looking at how, in comparison to the college football and the super conferences that have been put together recently. And I think we did a good job with this one. I don't see where the only real disputes I could possibly see. Maybe the Chargers get bumped up, but they haven't quite got there yet. In my eyes.
Too many cursed years, as we talk about.
The Jaguars maybe get bumped up. No, they're borderline.
I don't think so, yeah.
I don't know, but I think we did a good job with that. I think it's fairly accurate to real life as well. The A tier for sure is for sure the A tier. For this year, the B tier, I believe, plays out similarly.
Yeah, I was going to ask, like, if there are teams you think could jump to the A tier this year.
Or just for this year, the Jets might jump up to A tier.
Correct.
I think
that really might be it. To be honest, the Vikings, just the defense is holding them back. The Chargers, it's a tough division, and just putting it together.
The Seahawks are a team that's going to be borderline all year long. I don't think they're ever going to be A tier. They'll be borderline.
Mm-hmm. Browns, if everything goes right.
Yeah, but that's never happened for them, so it's hard to even imagine that.
Yeah, I believe that everyone in the A tier will be a playoff team.
Yeah, I think it's fairly accurate to right now too.
I was gonna say for D tier, there's two teams that I could see like sneaking in the playoffs.
I would put that the same thing. Go ahead.
I could see the Falcons and I could see the Bears sneaking in the playoffs.
My same thought I just had myself.
NFC is weak. That division, that NFC South that the Falcons are in, is up for grabs.
Correct.
And similar with the Bears, like there's no king of the castle with Rodgers leaving the Packers now.
Right.
And then the Lions have like they've been better, but they have their like own issues too. So Correct. That division, both those divisions are up for grabs. So I can see them sneaking in a wild card spot or whatever, or even if they win their divisions.
Mm-hmm. I got a lot of jokes off during the draft process about Anthony Richardson, but I do like his game. I think for the Colts, he could work out greatly and be the guy they need. Now, I don't know if Jonathan Taylor responds to that. I know Jonathan Taylor, I think, had a trade request recently because of contract issues and all that. So if he's not there, that could shake things up. But the Colts might not be completely terrible this year. I think they have a chance to rebound. And then
I think the Jags win that division, though.
Yeah, and then a team that I don't know. Maybe I'm just giving them credit. I won't say they're going to be better than expected or anything like that. But I think the Texans are a squad that we know is bottom tier, and
their defense is decent.
But they're going to be a team that fights hard every game. Like C.J. Stroud over there, Dameon Pierce is a workhorse. And I think the energy that he had, like some folks joke about, like he's just a try hard guy. I guess he'll fight for every down. I think that carries on throughout the whole squad, and they'll be a team that will at least be a team not to take lightly this year. So even if they lose in the end of their games, but yeah, the Texans are a squad that I'll keep a small eye on as things go along there. But beyond that, yeah, I'm cool with how this is put together, and excited to see how this translates into the current this season coming up as well. So yeah, that's really it. I wanted just to put this together to see how it played out. Definitely a fun thing. I appreciate you for I guess playing along with me in this, Alec.
Sure.
How can we compare this to a college again? If you could put together, well, no, I don't want to say that. Thinking out loud. I was trying to say like, because obviously there'd be a Super Bowl pick that we pick, and I don't want to jump into our predictions just yet. Yeah, I don't know the words. I was trying to think of like a bowl game comparison, something like that. I couldn't quite put it together in my head just now. I'll leave it alone at that. And
I guess
we'll come back to it, I guess, unless you can think of something real quick.
I was gonna say, I guess maybe like from these four, like who would win each of their conferences, and then like what that bracket would look like between the conference winners.
Sure.
Like some of those probably tough to pick. I think the Chiefs win but it's a battle.
We'll do it like that. We'll do it in a similar fashion. So the college football playoff just expanded to 8 teams, I believe it is. Right. So if you can pick 2 teams for each conference, that'll be the top dogs of their conference.
Oh, okay.
It'll be the top 2 of each, then we can go from there. So it seems like the Chiefs are still the Chiefs. Like it's hard to doubt it's hard to go against Mahomes. I think we both might. I think we tried that last year. We both picked other teams than the Chiefs last year. I believe so. And
maybe the Bengals
wrong. So I'm not going to do that again. I've learned my lesson. So the Chiefs are a lock for one, barring any other things going on. Beyond them, I personally, again, just as someone excited for my squad, I'm going to say the Ravens in that bunch. Obviously, we're not going to be able to see it in real life. Those are our own scenarios, but for my pick, I say the Ravens will be the second team in this group. I think they can get ahead of the Bengals, who I understand have become a juggernaut of their own in recent years. And I see what the Eagles have done. I think the Ravens have finally, at least somewhat, caught with what the Eagles have done with Jalen Hurts there. Got Lamar his help. He seems excited for this upcoming season. And the defense, again, is continuing to build up as it's been. So my pick is the Ravens for that group. Who would you have, I guess, alongside the Chiefs in that A group?
Yeah, it's between the Ravens, Bengals, Niners. I think the Niners are still because I'm like they won, obviously. I still had the Niners beating the Eagles in that matchup if they weren't on a fourth string quarterback against them.
Okay.
I think the Niners are still like the most complete of the three, but
Sure.
Healthy Lamar Jackson with that defense that was revamped like towards the end of last season is really, really tough. I'm really intrigued to see like what it looks like with the receivers this year,
Correct.
with the improvement to that group. So,
Yep.
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with the homer pick of the Ravens,
Mm-hmm.
being the second team of that group.
For the B group, this one's interesting to me. I believe in Jared Goff a little bit and see the upside of Detroit and how they turn their things around in recent years. They also see the upside of what the Jags have done, how they turn their things around. Just as last year, as they went from a team who was still finding their way, who were calling for heads after Urban Meyer was there, and now the team that won a playoff game last year and has a lot of upside with Trevor Lawrence at the helm. Then you have the Jets in that squad. You have the Vikings there. It's a tough group between these two. Yeah, go ahead.
For me, the Vikings and the Lions are the same team, just in different colors. Like really high octane offenses, but defense is Swiss cheese.
Got it.
Vikings lost Dalvin Cook, but they have Madison, who, by all accounts, has replicated his production when he's been out, but we haven't seen it for a full season.
Correct.
So we'll see what that looks like. But I think the offense will still be really good.
They replaced Thielen with Jordan Addison in the draft from USC.
Right.
And all reports so far has been that he's been balling already. So he should be a worthy second option there amongst others that they have. Isn't Hawkinson now there, or is Hawkinson now on the Hawkinson from the Lions is now in Minnesota. So they got weapons on the perimeter for sure. So yeah, I see what you're saying with that. That could be a toss up. Who would be the next team in that? Yeah, the Jets for sure. The Chargers again. Chargers are a squad that needs to break through.
Yeah, I trust the Jets a lot. I mean, you could say part of it is like the hype around the team, but I trust the Jets because I feel like they had the framework last year. They just had one of the worst QB situations in the league.
Correct.
And then you solidified that by getting a 4-time MVP and a Super Bowl champ and arguable top 5, top 10 QB ever. So I think that fixes a lot of their problems, and I think they will be a problem. So I'd probably say the Jets. I trust the Jets more than I trust the Chargers, just because they haven't done it yet. They made it to the playoffs, but I haven't seen Herbert do it yet. I think he has the tools to, and don't really trust Staley either, as we've discussed in the past. So I'd say I trust the Jets more, and we can say the Vikings somewhere. It's between those three teams, I think, at the top that we have.
No thought about the Seahawks or the Giants?
I think the Seahawks will be good. Giants, I don't think so.
Okay.
Just with them being I'm thinking about the actual divisions and stuff, like the Eagles and the Cowboys.
True. Okay.
So for sure the Jets to me, and I guess up to you between Vikings or Chargers.
I will co-sign the Jets because I do believe in what all that you see, as well as the revamped Aaron Rodgers in over there, who seems as happy as can be now over there with Sauce Gardner and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And then alongside them,
Jaguars got the best of the Chargers in the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
So Jags could be in the discussion.
I don't believe in the Vikings.
No.
I don't fully believe in the Giants. No. I don't fully believe in the Browns.
They're sneaky though. Yeah.
I see potential in the Seahawks. Even though you said they're identical, I see potential in the Lions. Mm-hmm. I see potential in the Jags also, but in the Chargers, there's a question mark. They have it, but they don't. It's they just can't get out of their own way. Mm-hmm. So I guess I'll stamp one to stop dragging it. I will stamp the shit.
I know. They're all very similar.
It's the same squad. Spider-Man meme. They all look like 10 squads.
Anytime we see these teams in a playoff matchup, we'll probably take the other team.
Take the other squad.
Yeah.
In this scenario, I'm I'll take a risk. I'll go ahead and say Jets and Chargers. Even though I don't fully.
Okay.
All these squads are damn near the same. I think Herbert, even though he is,
if Herbert isn't special this year, y'all go hear from me.
Correct. Even he's slightly overrated, but at the same time, he does have talent enough amongst this group to be the best of this group, or at least second best of this group.
Yeah. New offensive coordinator.
So yeah, I'm with you. I fully agree with you in this scenario, though. I'm gonna go ahead and pick them, and yeah, definitely a fun thing for this next group. I think the Broncos turning around this year.
Hopefully for their sake, yeah.
Yeah. And then beyond that,
talking cash talk.
Then beyond that, like the Steelers win games somehow every year.
They'll definitely be 500.
Yeah, we know that game each year, or surprise somebody each year.
I don't think it's gonna happen this year though.
That's fine. The Rams have top end talent still, but the rest of the roster, we don't know what it's going to be just yet. They could be a bottom barrel of the barrel squad.
Question marks around the defense too.
Yeah,
outside of
so I might go Broncos and Packers. Surprisingly, or
Packers.
Sorry. Okay. Yeah, because the big switch there really was just
what about the Titans?
With D-Hop there, that is interesting. Derrick Henry's still there.
Veteran QB. Not special, but veteran QB in Tannehill.
Yeah.
Solid defense, well coached.
I don't like Tannehill though. I don't for whatever reason. I don't like Levis. I used to leave out Levis.
Well, he's not. He's not. I don't think he's getting major reps.
Yeah. But for whatever reason, I don't like them. So they just passed my mind. But they could be there.
Once they got D-Hop, it was more interesting. Before that, I was like, I don't think so. But
the Raiders should be it, but I don't trust Jimmy G, and then Josh Jacobs is not.
Or McDaniels. I don't. Yeah. The Saints.
Kamara suspended. Michael Thomas is always hurt. Sadly.
Olave
is nice, but Derek Carr is a question mark as he's always been his whole career. So
Taysom Hill.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry. I guess I'll say
I'm fine with the Broncos.
Yeah.
And either between the Steelers and the Titans for me, probably.
I still say Packers in my head. Their defense still is solid and all that.
So you got faith in Jordan Love.
Somewhat. Enough, I guess, compared to the rest of these guys. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll take the unknown over what I do know about the rest of these guys.
Broncos and Packers. And then for this last one,
as we already said, right? It'll be Bears and Falcons.
I believe so. The only other team I have interest in is the Panthers too.
Sure.
With Bryce Young, and that Panthers defense is solid.
Correct.
But yeah, probably Falcons and Bears in the middle. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think those are fun. Yeah, so I'd be very intrigued by those bowl games in our scenario, and yeah, we're excited to see how it plays out in real life too. How these come together. We'll have our official predictions about awards and all of that as we get closer. I know preseason starts in like 2 weeks, so before then we'll have
this week, end of this week.
Oh, okay, then. Yeah, we'll start. We'll get rolling on all of our predictions and all of that, and have those for you guys who get excited for the season to get here. We'll talk about fantasy a little bit, talk about some guys we have our eyes on as well, and jump into it all. But for now, yeah, very exciting stuff here. Good things to pay attention to. Let us know what you guys think about our tiers, and make tiers of your own. Link will be in our bio here for you guys watching on YouTube and all of that, and fun stuff. Any last words for you here?
No.
I'll throw this in at the very end. We've been going for too long. The last thing I'll throw in is that you mentioned the Jets and how they turn things around, and Aaron Rodgers being happy in New York. We see that on display with Hard Knocks and what's going on there. Excited to see how the Kings play out. Fun stuff there going on HBO, I believe that is. In the same way, if they were to do it in-season Hard Knocks, what team would you want to see highlighted during the in-season Hard Knocks?
In-season? It's a good question.
I'll say this. Okay. For entertainment, again, it's Homer. but the Ravens now revamped, and I'll throw that in there as one. They have entertaining names now. They have Lamar. They have Odell. A lot of people have their eyes on Baltimore this year. That'd be a fun one. And then in similar fashion, a team that everyone always has eyes on. Seeing what it's like actually in the building for the Cowboys during the season as they go up and down, as they think they're going to be a title team and then fall down and go up and down. I'd love to see what that actually is like in the building there. So the Cowboys and Ravens are my two teams I'd love to see a in-season Hard Knocks for this year. What about you?
When I first saw the question, my first thought was it might be like funny or interesting to watch like a bottom of the barrel team, but at the same time, they kind of did that with the Cardinals last year, and it got boring. I did not watch, so I was like, probably not. And then I was trying to think of like the bigger personalities of the league that might be like interesting to see or watch, because like Aaron Rodgers, I don't know if you watched the first episode, it was heavy Aaron Rodgers dominated, but and Sauce and a little bit, but so like the personalities are what makes it interesting and fun. So
we see a lot in posting interviews. Jalen Hurts always has great quotes and things that get turned into memes and all that.
He's kind of a boring dude to me, though.
I like to see
he is so matter of fact business.
I'd be interested to see if that's him all the time. I know they already say that, but I like to see it play out. AJ Brown is pretty funny, and guys like that are over there that I think have personality. Philadelphia already is a funny city. You might get a Waddle and Gilly surprise appearance in the building as things go along, stuff like that. So Philadelphia would be fun. Beyond that,
I was gonna say the Broncos, just with this current regime change with Sean Payton, and of course Russell Wilson, one of the corniest dudes in the league, is funny to watch him do his thing at times.
Correct.
The Broncos could be a fun one. The Lions, but they just had theirs, so don't need a retread of that.
The Dolphins would be a great one too, seeing what's going on with Tua on a day-to-day basis. Tyreek Hill's over there, things like that. Surely Mike, what's his name, McDaniels, the head coach, is a funny head coach. So there's plenty of personality over there to keep eyes on. So there's good things. But yeah, those my two picks are Ravens, Cowboys, and we'd love to see that play out if it actually is possible one day. So again, going long now. That's it for now. We'll come back with some NBA discussions. There's a lot of stuff going on in the NBA here in LA and beyond that we want to address real quick. But for now, for the NFL stuff, this is it for today. Thank you for tuning in. We will actually deep dive a little bit more into what's actually going on in college football at another point. But for now, I just wanted to have a fun version of this right now, and we'll get more serious at it in the time. But yeah, that's it for today. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Again, like, rate, review, subscribe, comment, share. However you show love, we appreciate it all. We'll see you guys in real soon, man. We appreciate y'all. Peace.
Deuces.